At least 14 Philippine senators call on Health Secretary Francisco Duque III to resign over what they call the country's failed coronavirus response. In Senate Resolution number 362, the senators call for Duque's resignation for his failure of leadership, negligence, lack of foresight, and inefficiency in performance. The senators who signed the resolution are Senate President Tito Soto, Senators Mig Subiri, Sonny Angara, Nancy Binay, Grace Poe, Joel Villanueva, Francis Tolentino, Amy Marcos, Manny Pacquiao, Sherwin Gatchalian, Ronald De La Rosa, Bong Revilla, Lito Lapid, and Ping Lacson. Senator Ralph Recto was supposed to be among the signatories, but he was not able to send his e-signature on time. Senator Sonny Angara, who recovered from the coronavirus disease, says a quote, more proactive leadership against the virus is needed. On April 9, Duque falsely claimed that the Philippines had a relatively low number of coronavirus cases. But President Rodrigo Duterte backs Duque despite the call for his resignation. Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea says, quote, the President has made a decision for Health Secretary Duque to stay put. The Philippines has been lagging behind other nations when it comes to testing, yet the Philippines has outstripped its Southeast Asian neighbors in the number of coronavirus cases. A recent analysis of global pandemic data says the Philippines is among the riskiest countries to be in during the coronavirus pandemic. The Philippines also has the most number of coronavirus cases in the ASEAN region, but Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles says it's no cause for worry.
Hindi naman ito contest among ASEAN nations, di ba? Hindi naman ito contest na pakuntian ng number. Hindi ganyan.
As of Thursday afternoon, the Philippines has 5,660 coronavirus cases, 362 of whom died. At least 435 have recovered from the virus. Malacanang implements stricter protocols, requiring all visitors to undergo rapid coronavirus tests before meeting President Rodrigo Duterte. Presidential Security Group or PSG Commander Colonel Jesus Durante says tests would be administered on those going near Duterte. This includes testing of high-ranking government officials, PSG troopers, and close-in personnel who always accompany the president. The new health security measures are the latest after the PSG implemented a no-touch policy between Duterte and the public. Foreign Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin confirms the rapid testing protocol in Malacanang, tweeting, "I was rapidly tested, result in 10 minutes as a precondition to entering Malacanang." Negative. Carlo Nograles has had all his fingers punctured already. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque defends Malacanang's use of rapid test kits, saying the palace will make use of every resource available to protect Duterte.
Let me make this very clear. We make no apologies for the fact that we are protecting the life of the president. Gagamitin po natin ang lahat ng resources na kaya nating gamitin para protektahan ang presidente dahil ang presidente po hinala ng taong bayan para mamuno sa kanila, lalong-lalo na sa mga panahong krisis gaya nito.
The United States puts on hold the funding of the World Health Organization's budget as it attempts to steer the global fight against the coronavirus pandemic. The U.S. is the biggest single contributor to the United Nations Health Agency. U.S. President Donald Trump says he's putting the funding on hold, pending a 60 to 90-day review into the WHO's role in severely mismanaging and covering up the spread of the coronavirus. The virus's epicenter is now the United States, where the death toll has climbed to above 26,000, with more than 600,000 infections. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus later says he regrets Trump's decision. Meanwhile, a new study shows people infected with the new coronavirus may start spreading the virus several days before they have any noticeable symptoms. Published in Nature Medicine, the new study suggests those who get visibly sick may also be highly infectious before the onset of symptoms. Meanwhile, plasma therapy is seen as a promising treatment to COVID-19. It uses the antibodies of coronavirus survivors to boost the immune systems of the critically ill. In the Philippines, St. Luke's Medical Center treated 7 patients with convalescent plasma, while the Philippine General Hospital treated 3 patients. former White House hopeful Elizabeth Warren endorses her one-time rival Joe Biden, becoming the final major Democratic candidate to publicly support his presidential bid. Warren's endorsement comes 2 days after ex-candidate Bernie Sanders announced his support for Biden, and 24 hours after former President Barack Obama.
And we can't afford to let Donald Trump continue to endanger the lives and livelihoods of every American. And that's why I'm proud to endorse Joe Biden as President of the United States.
Warren, a progressive senator from Massachusetts, dropped out of the race in early March. The 77-year-old Biden now has the endorsement of all former major Democratic candidates, including Senator Kamala Harris, who has been discussed as a potential vice presidential pick. The Energy Regulatory Commission, or ERC, orders power distribution companies to implement a staggered payment scheme amid the coronavirus lockdown. In an advisory, the ERC says customers must be given a grace period for bills due from March 16 to April 30 without interest, penalties, fees, and other charges. The total amount of the electricity bills for that period should be amortized in 4 equal monthly installments, payable after the end of the enhanced community quarantine. The ERC also encourages customers who can afford to pay by the original due date to do so to help energy companies with their cash flow. Leading power distribution company Meralco says it will comply with the ERC's order.